You know, Brittney Griner is a very polarizing figure. Brittney Griner has been perceived as anti-American. I don't view Brittney Griner that way. I never did. Look, I viewed everybody that knelt for the anthem after Kaepernick as opportunists. They saw that cap money, yo. They saw Kaepernick become, well, kind of a messiah figure, right? He had the hair, the beard. He became a dude that, he's a prophet. The prophet Kaepernick, the prophet Colin goes up there with the prophet Isaiah. I viewed him, well, frankly, I viewed him as opportunist. But a couple things with Brittney Griner. One, she hits back at being labeled anti-American, despite her previous refusal to stand for the anthem and be out there for the anthem. They took me to the airport, she said, after driving me around the Kremlin, and they were like, do you know who lives here? And I was just like, yeah, I know. They were like, our leader lives here. And I'm like, Jesus, get me out of this brainwashed car. When we went to this is the part where she thinks it's going to be shot down. When we get to the airport, I get on that plane, I was worried someone might shoot the plane down. It wouldn't be the first time. Really? When's the last time your plane was shot down? I knew I wouldn't feel safe until wheels were on the U.S. soil. Now, I don't blame her for that. I don't blame her for feeling that way, but you got to understand something. There's nobody other than woke America that gives a rat's you-know-what about Brittney Griner. Now, woke America does because she's a black LGBT lesbian basketball player. So woke America does. But I got to tell you, Biden gave in. The merchant of death, or the worst human being alive, got traded for this women's lesbian basketball player. The Kremlin, or wherever, didn't give a rat's ass about some, what was I going to say? About some nondescript basketball player. They cared about the mass murdering dude. They cared about getting their guy back like a real dude. So why shoot? Why even care about Brittney Griner's plane? Biden, in all of his stupidity, wasn't smart enough to make a decent deal. Get both he and the the current soldier that's been standing or sitting in jail far longer than Griner. Biden gave in. And you think Putin and those clowns gave a damn about Brittney Griner? No. You think anybody in the United States gives a damn about Brittney Griner other than her family, other than woke America's LGBTQ community? And Brittney Griner's like, everybody else. Nobody really cares. So her self-awareness here, while I understand it, man, you ain't that important, sister. Certainly you're not that important once Biden made the ridiculous deal to get one of the most dangerous criminals in the world out of our jail and back in the hands of Russia. But I don't blame her. She says the weirdest thing for me, and I don't know why this would be considered weird if you have any brain at all, maybe Brittney Griner doesn't, was being labeled anti-American or non-American. Well, let me straighten it out for you. When you kneel and you don't want to, and you want to disrespect the flag, it shouldn't be that weird. Now, I get it. People like Griner are stupid. So they say things like, well, the weirdest thing. No, it's not that weird. Look, if you had any kind of pulse on the world, on America, people that were going in, not standing for the flag, were going to be considered anti-American. That one kind of irritates me the most, honestly, because my dad was a legit Marine. What's a non-legit Marine? Vietnam, 68 to 69. He fought for our country, went into law enforcement for 30-plus years. That I would understand. I wish Brittney Griner had let people know this before. I wish, for her sake, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. In fact, I was one of the first people that called for Brittney Griner to be released once I realized she was still in there. I don't give a damn what the public perception is of Brittney Griner, but for her sake, she kind of sort of should have made it more public. When she was kneeling or walking out on the flag or whatever she was doing, it would have been nice for her to have made this public. Look, my father was a Vietnam vet. maybe, just maybe, part of Brittney Griner's anti-American stance, if that's what you want to call it, stems from the way Vietnam vets were treated when they came back from war. They were booed at the airport, hissed, things thrown at them. They were disrespected. Maybe that's where Brittney Griner's stance comes from. Maybe not, but maybe. It would have behooved her to have let the world know this while people were calling her anti or un-American. When everyone asked me, what would you do if you weren't in basketball, I would have probably been a cop. My life would have been very different. And because I've protested against policeman brutality and all of this, I'm labeled as un-American. Yeah, you were. I don't buy the whole cop thing. Like, people can say anything they want. You know, it's like Larry Brown, the legendary basketball coach. You know, when I'm done coaching, I just want to teach at a small high school because I just love basketball. Yeah, okay. All right. You know, ever since Larry Brown said that, I've paid attention to what I would be if I wasn't. Yeah, maybe Brittney Griner would have. Yeah, I don't know. But it's the easiest thing to say, you know, if I had hair, I would be a Hollywood movie star. If I had a full head of feathered back 1978 Dan Dakich beautiful do, I would be in Hollywood right now. That's right. People can say anything. I'm with you, Brittney Griner. I am. I don't think you're anti-American. I actually don't think about you. But you're doing a publicity tour for a book. I hope the book sells for you. I hope, because when I see Brittney Griner, I see a bunch of insecurity. I do. I just see someone who's different than everybody else because of her size and all the other stuff, and I see insecurity, so I kind of root for her. I'm actually the one that started, hey, Brittney, get her ass out of prison. But anyway, if you didn't understand being labeled anti-American during that particular period of time, that's on you. But honest to goodness, if your dad was treated poorly, and since your dad was a vet and a 30-year cop, you kind of sort of maybe should have told folks that. Maybe you did and people just didn't listen. And I wouldn't blame them for not listening. We don't have to listen to everything. I mean, just because some freaking woman athlete or men athlete talks doesn't mean we got to listen. Like, I prefer if they didn't talk. I'd prefer not having to hear Patrick Beverley all of a sudden claim something crazy. I'd prefer not to have Brittney Griner tell me anything. I don't care about them. You get to a certain age, it's your kids, it's your boss, it's your, people that you work with, it's your family that you listen to. You don't listen to care about athletes. Now, I get it when you're younger. Maybe you do. But honest to God, it would have been nice. And hey, look, Brittney, I hope you sell a lot of books. I hope a lot of things go your way. I kind of like Brittney Griner. I do. I'm not mad at her. You know what? She learned a lesson. I had a friend that went to jail in Germany. It was a illegal gene scam gone wrong, and he was in jail, kind of a cement jail, with a couple of skinheads, or maybe one. At the time, skinheads were considered very dangerous. He got out, got home. I think he kissed the soil. I think he was very happy. Most people that experience other countries on a serious level, not on a vacation level, learn to maybe appreciate the good old United States a little more. It's a lesson for you Columbia pukes, you IU pukes, all of you anti-Semites out there protesting against Israel. Go over to Hamas. Go over to the Gaza Strip. Tell them you're gay. Tell them you're trans. See how that works out for you. Tell them you're a woman that likes to shtup a lot of different people. See how that works out for you. Just take a look. Go over there, you little white fraternity boys, and see how it works out for you.